This is still Combi system where the pieces are exchangeable. RYOBI calls it Expand-it. So I wanted to show them side by side, and then I will give a comparison on the power from versus what I'm used to with the steel, and then what I now have with the RYOBI. It comes with a 4 amp hour battery, which is just the normal battery, and here I have the 6 amp hour high output or HP battery that they call. Now this is supposed to be a brushless weed whacker, except for I did notice that it does not, inside of here, it does not have the back tabs that utilize the higher battery. So my expectation would be to get the same amount of power out of this between both of these batteries. So going down, it's very sturdy. I know you can't tell on the camera, but it's actually very sturdy. Good solid plastic, easy safety button. To put it together was pretty simple. It came in 3 or 4 parts. It had this piece was separate. Then it had the stem down here, and the guard was pulled off. Now it does have that quick wind system where you just, in order to wind it up, they got this little crank on there. You put the string in it and you just wind it up and it makes it smaller. So that's pretty good. And then the piece where the end goes in has a real nice solid click to it. It is plastic, so I'm not sure how long it'll hold up, but it is got a nice solid click, and then the actual detent tab is what holds it in place. Now, one thing about this I did notice is you can, with this detent tab, rotate the head to actually make it easier to trim, which is pretty cool. I can't do that with my steel. Now, I will say I tried, and the tips of those, the ends of those will not fit in the Expand-it. So it does look like the Echo tips might, because they have a detent like this. They are the same diameter, but the steel system has a little tab on the top that doesn't detent, so it gets in the way of it being able to go in. Now, I suppose if you want to trim that tab off, it would probably go in, but I don't want to do that with the steel. So I'm going to start with the 4 amp hour battery that it comes with. Now to start it, it also has over here a high-low speed. We'll see what that does, but this is on low. And then here's high. All right, let's see in action. How fast I thought it would be. It's quieter, and as far as a trimmer goes, it feels just as fast as my steel. Switching to low. When I was over there, all that the cutting you heard was the string being cut by the cutter, and it was easy to hit that. I didn't mean to extend the string, but I'm going to see how it does edging. I'm still on low. Now I'm going to try the 6 amp hour HP to see if it makes any difference. Feels about the same. A little bit higher pitch on the motor, but same. So I've had a couple weeks now to play around with this since the last video I took. And I have to say, I'm extremely impressed with an 18-volt trimmer that can do the things that this can do. I have read a lot of reviews that say that about these 18-volt RYOBI trimmers, that they're almost as good as the 40-volt, which is hard to comprehend. But I have to say that I'm pretty impressed with what this little thing can do. Now, I know that I can't evaluate power because I don't have any attachments that will go to this that require it to really struggle. But I would say that it's probably very good at trimmer or hedge trimmers or any of those kind of attachments that are made for cutting simple things. As far as the sweeper or the a tiller, I don't know if it would have the power to be able to actually do that without burning the motor out. Of course, I can't say that because it's unfair. I don't actually have those things to test, but I would say that I don't know that I would put that up against this unless RYOBI says that it can do it and it's their piece, then I would definitely do it. And I would not hesitate. It is very well made. It has performed extremely well. The only thing I have to say that I didn't like so much about it is this handle right here. And if you look at the handle, it moves. And that's okay, except for I'm used to a handle that doesn't really move that much on the steel. So that might just be a personal preference thing. To me, it was a little weird. It feels kind of maybe cheap, and I'm going to break it at some point. But it's held up so far. I've only had it for a couple of weeks, and I haven't had any issues with that. The quality of this head, it's made very well. It's all metal. The whole thing's metal and aluminum, except for the guard, which is plastic, just like any other one. And when I was talking about plastic on this earlier in the video, I was talking about how this piece right here was plastic. That's fine because most knobs are plastic, but the actual retainer is also plastic. It's very thick plastic and should hold up just fine. But I've had this thing for almost 10 years, and you know it's got those attachments too, but it's all metal in here, and it's held up flawlessly. You would expect that from something of that quality. This right here, for the price that you're getting it for, is spot on. I'm very impressed with it. Edging. On the video, I showed low speed edging on the sidewalk, and I had some real thick patches of grass. I did not film a high speed. When I put it in high speed, much better. Chop right through those big patches like they weren't even there. Same thing my steel does, chop right through it, no issue at all. So in comparison, I am absolutely impressed with this little guy. I will keep it around for a while, and I definitely break it out more than my steel now because the steel just, it's gas, so it takes more to keep it running, and this takes nothing but battery. So if you're trimming or hedge trimming, something of that nature, this thing will be flawless for you. Thoroughly impressed. I hope you enjoyed the review. If you have any questions or comments, please put them below, and thank you very much for watching.